everyone, welcome to the session of SoapUI. This session will be going to be your complete reference for your SoapUI. Before going into detail, let us see what is SoapUI. SoapUI is a tool for testing web services. These can be the SOAP web services or RESTful web services and HTTP based web services. So SoapUI is an open source and completely free tool. So this is what SoapUI, and this tool is available as an open source, and it will be different providers are giving, so we can download it available in Google as well. You can download. So before going into it, so what are the uses of SoapUI? So basically, SoapUI can be used for complete REST and SOAP based web service testing. You can do functional testing, performance testing, and interoperability testing, and regression testing, and much more things we can do it in SoapUI. So SoapUI is mainly focusing on web service testing to be done quite easily and efficiently. So that is the reason there is a big team working on SoapUI, and they are giving the different versions, and they are optimizing the SoapUI and giving different features. So for example, to create a load test, you just right click on the functional test and run it as a load test. That's it. This is how that simplification is done over SoapUI. Also, you can simulate the web services. You can record the tests and use them later. You can create a code stubs for that visitor, and you can even create a REST specifications from recorded communication. So this is like a kind of a WADL file we can create. So these are the things can be done through the SoapUI. These are the uses of SoapUI. So okay, so now what and all we saw is what is SoapUI. What is SoapUI? SoapUI is a tool and testing for testing web services, and it is it can be a SOAP web service or REST web service or HTTP based services. It can be done, and uses of SoapUI. So SoapUI can be used for complete REST and SOAP based web service testing, and this will be used for functional testing, performance testing, and interoperability testing, and regression testing, and much more. So that we have seen, and now, so if we install the SoapUI, what are the basic requirements for the basic system requirements available for required for installing the SoapUI in our machine? So SoapUI is Java based basically, and it runs on most operating systems. This this is tested in several Windows versions as well as Mac and different Linux machines as well. So SoapUI requires Java version 1.6. More than 1.6 version should be required to run the SoapUI. We need the Java runtime environment, which is required to run the SoapUI, and we need that memory specification. We need at least 1 GB of RAM, and it is recommended to keep more than 500 MB, around 500 MB of disk space also required. So if you want to install basically for the Java runtime environment will be available in the package itself. If you want to most of the operating systems are having Java runtime itself. Before, most of the developers, they are having the Java runtime within the system itself. Sometimes they may not be having, so by the time this SoapUI package itself, they will be providing the Java runtime environment. In case some cases, if they are not there, we have to install that JRE 1.6, and we have to keep the Java home environment variable, set it accordingly. So this is the system requirement. My machine. So now like let's see how we'll install SoapUI and how we can do the testing on the SoapUI. All those things we'll be able to see. So uh, now we have the system requirements. So in my machine I have whatever the requirements mentioned earlier. I have all the things in my machine. So where we can download the SoapUI. SoapUI downloaded. It's open source only. I have that link actually, so you can search it in Google also. Seems like to create this thing I am just keeping it handy with me. I'm just opening the tool, so it seems like I already kept it open. So this is the download page where you can see this SoapUI open source, which will be readily available. And even though it has some enhanced version, like which has that upgraded version, which will be having so many other advantages of using the SoapUI. So in in this thing, now like in this video I'm just going to cover this SoapUI open source. So here I have download this SoapUI package, and we will be going to install the SoapUI with that with this package. So let me show you where I have downloaded that. So you have to like just you need to click on this, and it will ask to save that file, and you have to save it. I'll just try I'll as a like in this video I just want to show. So if you click on that, it will ask to like it will be automatically started downloading. So maybe like if it is not downloaded, you can click here and the download will come here. So as I already downloaded this software, it will be available here. So let me go and check where I had downloaded. Here I have the setup downloaded. So what we can do is now the SoapUI setup is ready now, like ready to install. So now we are going to install the SoapUI. So actually before going into it, we have this setup available for different versions actually. uh, for a Linux machine we have a separate setup will be available. For Windows machine we have a different setup, and for Mac OS we have a different setups. So here actually I selected Windows and I have downloaded Windows setup. So that is how you can see here. And now once we get the system setup downloaded, you can start the installation. So even before downloading, you have to see one more thing, which is 32-bit or 64-bit. So since my system is 64-bit, I have downloaded it as a 64-bit setup. It is, you can see here, x64. So to check that your system whether it is 32-bit or 64-bit, go into this my computer and properties, right click and check the properties. You will be able to see the system configuration. Here you can see like what is the processor, what is the RAM, and what are the system type. So whether it is a 64-bit or 32-bit, all those things will be shown here. So in my system it shows as a 64-bit operating system, so we can use this 64-bit setup. So now my SoapUI setup is ready. Now I'm going to start the installation. You just double click on this setup, it will start the installation, and as soon as you click on that, you will be able to see this screen, and it will be asking for the option to select the next. So for in my system it is saying whether you are allowing to install this setup in your device. I'm saying yes. Next, it will be going to ask for that show that screen. It is a This is the wizard that installation wizard started. So you can just we are going to install this SoapUI 5.6 version on my computer. This wizard lead you to step by step through the installation. So in this screen itself, by default it will direct you to complete the installation. So it's already written over here. I'm just explaining as well. So you can just click next to continue the setup, and in this screen you'll be getting opportunity to show where that SoapUI needs to be installed in your C program files. Which location you wanted to install, you can specify the location. My system, it shows here it as a by default, so I'm just keeping it as a default path only. So if you want to change the path, you just click on browse and change the location. So since I'm keeping it same, so I'm just going to next, and it is having it's showing some other options. So you can see whether you wanted to install this SoapUI, then and also some features. It shows that include additional components like the SoapUI source files and hem.js installation. Like if you wanted to do and also the tutorials it will be showing. So if you want to include this Hermes source, all those things you can click. If you don't want, you can leave it. If you click this Hermes JMS, this will ask for the separate license agreement, all those things. You can proceed with that. So basically that time, since we are just going to do the basic SoapUI things, so I'm just going next. And here, since we have selected tutorials, and tutorials will be placed into this location. And next, in this above you can see the create start menu folder, like it will be created that folder. If you check that, it will be creating the folder. If you uncheck, it won't create the folder in the start menu. And here is also one more checkbox is there, whether the shortcuts needs to be created in the desktop or not, and for the all users. So if you click yes, it will be creating the shortcuts in the desktop. So if you click next, then this desktop icon, okay, here it is a desktop icon. Before that, it is for all users create a shortcut, and whether that shortcut needs to be placed in the desktop. So this is checkbox it is used for, and you can give next, and it started installing. It won't take more than 2 minutes or 3 minutes. It will be getting installed. So once you specify all the default things, and it will be taking that installation, and it looks like the installation is completed now. You can see this, wave the release notes, run soap. So like it will be by default checked, so I'm just finishing that. So now our installation is completed. That release notes, whatever this checked, it is showing that what all the version is installed, and what are the updates that were updated jars, what are the bugs fixed in this release, new release. So these are all the details is mentioned in this thing, and until now what are the versions, what are the releases, complete explanation has been given into this text file. So you can see this and now okay, now we got the SoapUI interface opened. So this this is a SoapUI page. Like you can see, there is a SoapUI icon is created in the desktop. By default, I clicked on the checkbox. This after installation, it has opened automatically. So here is the project. So here is the SoapUI screen. It is a plain white screen. It looks like it has menu options, and it has like this SoapUI interface has this file menu, icon menu, and the navigator pan. All those things will be available in this thing. So if you take this screen, here you can see the file menu, and this is actually has this is the main toolbar, and it has that all the options like file, create a new project, import a project, and rename a workspace, and setting the preference for this SoapUI. All those things, saving preference, these all things will be available in this main toolbar. and you can see these are all the things got disabled, since like these we don't have any active projects in this screen. We are showing these all things as a disabled. So basically once you create the project, these all will be enabled. And we have a shoot options, we have a test case options and steps and tools. Like in these things, like sometimes we will be using these tools, extra other tools in this OPA itself. So for that they have given these options. And desktop and help, this help tool is be what do you call it? Used to show that whenever we have some issue, you can go into this help tool and you can find the solution for those things. So in this, one more thing is there here about SoapUI. If we click on this about SoapUI, it will show you the SoapUI version, copyrights and build date, all those things it will be showing. So this is how the uh, main toolbar uh, looks like. And the next one is icon toolbar. This icon toolbar is nothing but these are the shortcuts to create this. This is the icons. You can see empty soap. These are the icons. So we can see that create a soap project, create a rest project, and to import a soap project. Save all. These are the icon toolbar is available. And the next one is this navigation bar. Once you create this project, you can see the navigations available. You can see the properties in the below. So this is called as a property pane. And other than that, if you see below, let me minimize this. You can see the logs pane. Let me close this. So so if you want to see the logs, you can see here SoapUI log, HTTP log, GT log, error log. These are the logs you can see in this log inspection pane. So totally we have main toolbar, icon toolbar, and navigation pane. This one navigation pane. And other than that, properties pane. It will be showing that properties and values, and the log inspector. Totally we have 5 separate sections here. All these sections, like the purpose of the sections I just explained. So here I'm just going and keeping it as a reference. So now, like, we have downloaded the SoapUI and we have installed SoapUI. I'm just keeping how we have done that. What are the SoapUI interfaces available? What I meant is like whatever I just showed, like a main toolbar, icon toolbar, and navigation pane and property pane. These are the available interfaces. So what next? Like we are going to see how to create the soap test. So let's see like how we are going to create the soap test. So now to test the soap UI, first we need the visual file. So means visual file or visual URL to create the project, and to test the project we need those things. So those things will be available in freely available in the Google itself. To save time, I've just gone and taken one of the reference. These are the publicly available URLs only. So what you can do is you can go and take that URL in the Google itself. So since I have that URL, one visual URL, SoapUI URL, I'm just going to create a soap project. So to create a soap project, click on this create soap project and just give that visual URL. By default it will be showing that service name. So renaming it as service, let it be like as it is. So you just click on OK, your project will get created. So so you have just created the SoapUI project. So now like your first soap project is ready. So you can see here, uh, so create a SoapUI project. Your first project is ready. So you can see here, and it will be showing here the API is available to test. So for example, if you just click on this request, it will be opening this. This is a request pane and this is a response screen. So basically this soap web service is help to get the temperature, converting that Celsius to Fahrenheit and Fahrenheit to Celsius. This is publicly available service which I have taken, and for example here it is Celsius. So for example, if it is 36 degrees Celsius, what would be the Fahrenheit? So Celsius to Fahrenheit here. So you can just click, put this thing, and just click on this play button, Fahrenheit. For example, for 36 degrees Celsius and 6.8 is the Fahrenheit. So so this looks like you are able to send a request and you will be able to get the response as well. This is how like this SoapUI will work. So now you know like based on the digital URL how to create a SoapUI project and how to run the SoapUI request, and how to see the response. So these are the things you are able to see. So for example, I can show you the other method. Now I show you, you can see that Celsius to Fahrenheit, now Fahrenheit to Celsius, that request also we can see. So in this thing, so for example I'll be giving 100 degree Fahrenheit. So what is the Celsius? Let's see. So 37.77 is the Celsius. So you can see the response in this response pane. Since it is a SOAP format, you can see this. This is like working as SOAP protocol. It gives the XML format, that SOAP format response request and SOAP format response. So this is how the SOAP projects is created and tested. And let us see now like for more details we will see further for like how to create the test cases and how to create a test shoot, and how to add the attributes. So all those things we will be seeing the REST service. So before for that we have to create a web REST web service. Okay, so now we saw how to create a SoapUI project and how to run that SoapUI request and how to get the response. All those things we saw. Now we are going to see create a REST project. I mean like SoapUI, here I just mentioned it as SOAP. So now we are going to create a RESTful web service project. So in this you can see like let me show you. We need a RESTful URL. So the same way as I mentioned for this SoapUI SOAP project. So I have found this one of the REST URL, and I'm going to use this REST URL for the testing purpose. So this is SOAP service we have created and it is working fine. So I'm just closing it. I don't want to keep that confusion again. So next I'm going to create a REST project. So if you click on this REST icon, I'm just coming again and showing you. If you click on this create a new REST project it will be open like this, and you have to create this your URL, that REST URL, and press OK. This will create the project. So now there it is, REST project. Here it is created. So you can see the request is already uh, request pane is already there, and you cannot see any XML file, XML a SOAP kind of XML file request is here, and also there is no SOAP kind of XML here. So what it is there is like name, Bella, and query and resource. So this is like, this is the REST request looks like, and you get, like, you will be sending the parameter name as Bella, and what it will do is if you send the name of the person, it will give you the age, like if based on the name it will give some age, like it's kind of random age it will be giving. So I just given as a name as Bella, and I'm just going to run. So after running this, in this XML it is not showing, since this is not a supported format, it is not showing anything. If you go into this JSON, you will be able to see the age. So name Bella, age 34. So the person named Bella has an age of 34. This is what it is showing in the response. So for example, if you want to change the name of the person, for example, if you want to change the name to John, what is the response for John? See, for John it is showing the age is 57. So based on the name of the person, the age it is showing here. So this is the REST URI. It will give the unique response for the each users, so each name. Okay, so here is why how to create a how to run a request and how to get the response. This is how it is running the request and response testing in the SoapUI for the RESTful web services. So now what we will do is, I'm just going to right click on this request and add a test case. So let me click on test case. If you are like, if it is a full-fledged testing, we will be going to create a test case. So for this I'm just keeping the hierarchy is something like this, like for creating this project it will be a project, after that it will be inside the project name and test shoot and test case, like it will be coming like next. So I'm just showing this test shoot instead of test shoot. Okay, let it be test shoot 1 instead. We'll make it and test case 1. Instead of test case I'll just keep name versus age, something like that. I'll just test case. So I'm just keeping it as a test case. So this is a age, right? I just created this test case. Now it looks like the test case is created. So if you want to run this now, it will be running, like you can see that it got executed, and you can see that name John, it has age 57. You can add any number of test cases here, like if you want to add multiple test cases, you can add it here. And in this you can, like by default, like whatever that results comes up, if you want to test that result, you have to like check some keep some value to check whether that results are valid results. So for that you can have an option for assertions. So in that you can just add the assertion option, like it will be contains, it will be property content. You have so many options. Basically I'm just going to give this contains. This contains I'm just giving, and I'll give it as a kind of number, or let it be ignore case comparison, use tokens as a regular expression. I'll just keep contains, it will be like some value. Let me see here what it looks like. So this got executed and it says the response looks fine. So now what you will do is I'll just add one more request, and we'll see like in this. Okay, you can here you can add a SOAP request as well, and REST request, HTTP request. There are so many request options available. You can add any of these requests in this what do you call it, test shoot, and you can run. So basically, to run these things, if you want to add multiple test shoots, you will be able to see. For example, here in this request itself, you can see here if by clicking this you can add the request, more request. Like here it will be asking to say you have to add it in the existing test shoot, or you want to create a new test shoot. So I'm just saying that in this existing test shoot itself I want to create a new test case. So I'm just giving create new test case with the existing shoot. I just clicked. I'm just giving test name as test case 2, and the request name says request 2. So now what can be done? Like just press OK, and it has created the second one, second request as well. So if you want to see this test so here I have one request, and here I have the other request. Available here. Let me close this. It has so many windows open. In this test case, we have a request 2 separate request get created, and it is executed as well. So here you can see this request is if you just run this thing, the name John, instead of name John, I'm just giving name of Stephen. I'll be able to see the JSON response modified. So this is how we can create the test shoot, and we can create the test cases, and you can keep it recorded all the times, and this will be enough like for the testers to do that regression testing and functional testing. All those things we can record it, run it as kind of automation. We can do it here. We can create a multiple test cases, and which will be recorded here. We can you don't need to go on each time. You need to create a given data, all those things. Whatever the data you are giving, this will be always reside in this request itself. So you can just you need to run that request, and we have to see the response. Like even already you have added the assertions. This will be like you just need to see whether that all the tests are successfully run. So in this thing we can do so many things. So as of now, like within this short time I can show this much information only. So if you want like more informations, maybe I will be coming up with some other video. So I think now like we have seen other stuff like how to create the SoapUI and how to create test shoot, and we saw how to create test case, how to add attribute. I mean it's like how to add assertion. So this much things we have gone through today. So if you want more details, and I'll be coming up with each for example soap itself we have a separate video we'll create, and for the rest itself we'll create a separate video, and we'll give you a detailed explanation on each topic. So if you have any doubt or anything, maybe we'll wait for some in my other videos. So I hope you might have learned something with this video. uh, Thank you for your time, and uh, happy learning. Thank you. Bye.